Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I'd bring us out a little bit early. It says we'll be back soon. We're going to be back in just a second. We're just waiting for the server to load up. I am Lee D-Man Smith, and joining me for this once again is going to be Matt Matchroom Oaks. It is the Intel Extreme Masters qualifiers, as you can see, for the PUBG Invitational at Oakland. Don't forget that also you can get involved, by the way. You can go there. You can get your tickets. IEM tickets are available, of course. Don't forget. You want to be on site. You want to see the best of the best? IEM.gg/Oakland 2017. Matchroom, what a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen, because we have the top 20 teams of North America here in this qualifier ready and waiting to go. And there has been quite a few upsets in the qualifiers.
There's been a lot of upsets specifically around Group 1, just due to how many teams that we saw were inside of that, the group of death per se. A lot of very regularly performing teams didn't make it out of that group just due to how competitive it is. Now, that being said, we have a ton of great teams still inside here. We've got Ronin Esports that's coming to play, Gale Force Esports, Amazing Like Raisins, one of my favorite team names to say. Additionally, Ghost Gaming is one to keep an eye out for. People that regularly check the leaderboards, if you play squads a lot, will probably recognize Profi's name, as he's regularly in the top 10.
Yeah, I'm seeing, actually, I see WTF, and I didn't think they qualified. Maybe my thing was wrong. I swear I saw that White Temple Fate didn't get in there. Maybe that was just out of date, because I can see 17. I'm staring at him right now. So yeah, and Ashek's in there. So my little list is a little wrong, I think.
Yeah, and naturally, that's a really strong squad to keep an eye onto. We also have MLG Esports Club that's inside of here. I do have to go back to Ronin Esports, because I'm going to ask you a question. Has one of my favorite player names to say on it, but I still don't understand what it means to this day. Mini Fridge Jr. What do you think a Mini Fridge Jr. is? Is it like a smaller mini fridge?
Hey, that's like an even tinier fridge.
So what? It holds like one drink?
Yeah, you get like 2 or 3 drinks in it max. I don't know, because you think a mini fridge is like, you know, your Red Bull fridge that you see. A Mini Fridge Junior, maybe it's like one of those ones you can put in your backpack. I don't know.
I don't know, but definitely a strong team coming out of there. We saw a lot of good performances coming out of the group stage, but here we go. Enough about the group stage. It's all about who's going to qualify for IEM Oakland right now. We've got 4 squads that are going to be making their way over to California. Let's get this first round out of 5 underway as the airplane is coming in from the southeastern corner.
Yeah, it's going to be straight over the top of Milton Power. I wonder if anyone's going to go there. So far, we've seen if the plane goes over it, nobody touches it. So that tends to be the rule. They're going to be able to jump out about now. And there we go. Okay, so expect to see probably military base. Are we going to see anyone go there? Military base has been like that hot butter territory. Nobody really wants to go into it. You may get caught out. So many names across this that I recognize from some of the qualifiers. One I want to mention in there is Rob Wiz. This is a guy I have known since 2007 in esports. He used to play for Evil Geniuses in Call of Duty 4. He represented America and won tournaments with them all across the international spectrum. He's been a top pro player in Overwatch. He's been a CSGO pro player. This guy, any FPS, I think was a Brink pro player, if that even existed for 5 seconds. But now here he is in the NA finals of PUBG. What a legend.
Well, I really love the fact that PUBG right now is this melting pot. You get all these players from all of these other esports coming in, compete. Really lets you know that a lot of people are taking this really serious and see a lot of potential inside of what PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds could be as a competitive esport.
So we see Tyler and Minty Fresh. Remember Minty Fresh picking up the first win in the round, but this is a best of 5. We're in a very different situation here. MLGB, they're heading over towards the south of Georgia Pol. Nova gone north Georgia Pol here in Milta. We do see people actually going there, so people did choose it, and as expected, only the single 1 squad go there. So normally, obviously if you fly over, if you're in a normal standard public game, your plane flies over somewhere, you get about 3 squads there, not in the Pro Series.
I actually talked to some of the pro players last night. I was curious about why this is a thing that happens. And they say that they don't like to drop along the plane path because then you know that people are going to be surrounding you. You're going to have people to north, south, east, west, all depending on how the plane goes. So if you do as far a push as you can, you know that at least nobody can completely surround you. And that seems to be the logic for why a lot of these teams choose to not drop straight down.
I see White Temp Fate. I think they're in school, aren't they? They're at school and Palmer's West School. Okay, Rob is taking shots. Corriber shooting in his back as he passes on by. We can see 2 squads went on to Sosnovka. One's in military base. One actually is going around the outskirts, the beach line. MLGB, we can see in South Georgia Pol here, getting themselves a stack of loot. I think they topped or came second in their group. I think they were group 4, I believe. So they did very well over there.
We can see that the circle is up and active. A little bit of Pachinki is still inside of it, so that means that almost everything along the eastern coast should be available. So these guys over here in Yasnaya, yeah, you can see that while multiple squads are posted up over here, but so many people did that hard push over towards the western side. So all these guys need to grab their loot and make a break back over to the eastern side. Specifically, you see that there's so much dead space right now as we're doing this flyby. Look in the middle of the eastern section of the island. There's just nobody there right now.
No, absolutely. It's just an empty area. The circle's not too bad. As you say, it's the south side again, or east side, whatever you prefer to call it. There is a chunk of water in there, but I'm hopeful that is going to be nullified. So we don't see anyone in there. Obviously, we've already seen a chunk of people in the lake like by Yasnaya. Let's have a look. That is, they're showing us the corn shuckers actually. They're just to the south. So maybe they're going in the hospital and then they're going to go Gak away. There's so many big teams and big names in this. It's hard to know where to look.
And yeah, you can see that Ghost is actually positioned up around the hospital. Profi's playing that area over next to the southern area of Georgia Pool. MLG, the rest of the team, still continuing their basic loot. Reno looks like he's on the warpath, trying to find himself a vehicle or something for the rest of the squad. Because if you look off in the distance, the only vehicle I actually see along that road was way off on the western side. There was a UAZ.
There's actually people in Kameshki. There's people gone Kameshki. Would you believe it? I think this is only the second time in the last 2 days we've seen this. There is not a lot of loot there. That's why not a lot of people go there. And if there's no vehicle, you are absolutely screwed. Just a single squad in Yasnaya. The second squad has already left there.
See, 100 rounds. He's making his push down off the side. One of those building complexes you talked about earlier that you really like. And again, I have to admit, it is kind of like a little fortified castle. You've got the walls around the outside of it, your little moat and your trench that you can play around. Looks like we have a couple of people actually leaving the apartments area. 2 minutes to go, and we're already starting to see a lot of these teams try to position for the next circle. It means that they think that they have the loot that's necessary. And again, this is the first round, so expect people to play really safe. They want to try to get as many points as they possibly can in the earlier rounds.
So let's talk about favorites. What we got a lot of things going on here. You've covered the NA scene since the beginning of PUBG, since you had a scene. What do you make of this so far? Who would you see as the favorite? You got to probably looking at, obviously, throw the standard names in there: the Gale Force, the Ghosts, WTF. Like, who is your #1 favorite for this?
The #1 favorite? You're like trying to make me pick between my children.
I know, right? I know.
I'd have to say that they all have their own different strengths. Specifically, right now, Ghost has been showing up and netting a lot of points inside the rounds coming up into this. They've been very, very dominant. But they are a kind of newer form team. They have been playing together a lot on the leaderboards, but they're just now coming together and really competing, and just recently got side. So we're going to have to see how they play out. Why Tempt Fate has really been doing a lot of work here recently. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play this out. Specifically, Bahawaka, Ashik, 17, Hypoc, there could be some people to keep an eye on because they are known for having late-game strategies. And with the favor of points towards placement, we're going to have to see how they perform inside those last couple of circles because they know how to survive.
Oh, we see Messiah and Co. down here, just on the coastline. Oh, a crate. It's going to have a Groza in it. Stacked out Groza. Rium, he's going to be one happy camper. Gets himself that, ditches the AK, and off he goes with his brand new shiny Groza.
You can pull back over, and not everybody has really started the transition phase yet. No big migrations, not everybody jumping inside of vehicles. Kind of curious about how many of these squads have actually secured vehicles at this point. You can see that we have Nova that is up in the top northern section of Georgia Pool. They have secured themselves a vehicle, starting to make their way over. Coming back over here next to Lippo, which is inside the circle, so plenty of time to kind of hang out. Lippo is one of those really weird areas that people kind of come over to. There can be really solid loot here, or sometimes you can just get absolutely nothing from it.
Yeah, Lipovka. I assume there's a boat. I mean, I don't really need the boat at the moment. It's a pretty decent circle. There's not point taking the boat. Okay, all right. We've seen the circle area. And actually, we'll have a look when I see the minimap again at the moment. Obviously, we were talking about strategies, like where teams go, etc. Why don't I have no sounds? I have no sound at all off this. I don't know about you guys.
I was
I'm
just
getting
noticing
nothing.
the same thing. I just sent a message over to the admins just a minute ago, and I was like, I don't think that I'm getting any sound.
Yeah, I'm like, I have volume up, everything's good for my end, but I get no sound at all. Okay, so that'll be sorted out. What I was wanting to ask is, like, where would you position in this circle? It looks to me like WTF have got a great setup. Bear in mind, they were at school, they were in apartments, and now look at them. They've gone bang central, got themselves in that complex, just south of Mansion. You can see 17 hip-hop going across them right now.
Well, different squads have different buildings that they necessarily prefer, but you can see that a lot of these squads, they are very experienced. They're going to lean into a strong centering strategy. There's a good part about being the first squad to be dead center inside of the circle is now you have control over that spot. The problem with it is everybody else is going to want it, so you're going to have to make sure that you fight your way through it. So while 17, the rest of White Tempt Fate do have a very strong position, they have to make sure that they keep everybody away from them. Now, specifically around this, there's not a lot of buildings, so they do have long kill lines and make sure to hold nice angles on top of it. Here we go. We've got our military base people making their way back out and coming over here with MLG Tunican. Tunican's actually a very well-known player. I think that in the DreamHack event, they performed very, very well. Not the Denver one. What was the one that was back before Denver? I'm trying to remember.
Pass. Pass. You know more than me. You know more than me. The Denver one was just last weekend.
Yeah, it was the one that happened over summer. I can't quite remember where the position for that was. See that Giraffe catching a little bit of airtime on the motorcycle, following up his friends, trying to find their new home that they're going to move to. So see that the circle is about halfway through finding its final position. So everybody's just trying to look and see what can be found. And right now, there's still a lot of really open areas. As again, we see White Tempt Fate going, hey, no, Nova, this is our home. You get away from here.
Yeah, no, indeed. Get the hell out of here. Well, Locknab he's always the scout. Every time you see Nova, you see Locknab being the first man. You know that there's going to be 3 members of Nova going to be following straight behind him. So he gets himself basically checking out the apartments, checking out which one to buy, which real estate is going to be his. 17's got a Groza. No, it isn't. It's a lie. It's UMP. I got excited for a minute. I thought, where the hell did he pick that up? I didn't see a second drop over by school, but it's just UMP.
And we have a couple of squads looking like they're getting set up on the bridge. We haven't seen this to be the most effective strategy, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're just taking their time. Yeah, it looks like they hopped out of the vehicles. They were like, okay, nobody's posted up, so let's try to push through here. Now, there is a squad that's posted up a little bit further down the road, but I don't think they're really going to try to contest anybody coming over the bridge.
So, a quiet start. 79 alive. Must be just the one that died in there. Didn't see who it was. Maybe missed it.
Just one casualty. Now we're playing competitive PUBG really strongly. Everybody's just trying to survive. Everybody's avoiding any bullets coming their way. Lean in safety. Remember, everybody's playing for leaderboards right now. So naturally, the higher you come out in your positioning, like if you get first, second, third, you get way more points than if you come in last place. So that's what all of these squads are trying to avoid doing. In addition, you can always get 10 points per kill. So if you guys are wanting to figure out what's going on, how the points are racking up, make sure, I believe, what is it, exclamation point groups. You can click that inside of chat, and I'll pop that up so that way you guys can follow what's all happening and where the point standings are at.
Yeah, and it's nice to follow. Guys, I know you're going to spam chat. Anyway, we are aware there's no audio. We have no audio either, so we have passed on our thoughts to North America and saying, where is the audio? And hopefully we will get that soon. Apparently it's being looked into. Nova are continuing to try and find a home. They're like nomads right now, trying to go across. J all day going in, but it does look like Lucknow has found themselves a complex. It's the really nice one, just to the west of the mansion. It's that raised area.
It's really strong if the circle keeps on favoring that location, because then you can really play around the high ground advantage that you have. Fire in, and oh, we've got MLGB doing a push up right now. You can see that they're coming up onto Dragoon. This is a very interesting push, as this is in a usually very contested location.
Yeah, indeed. You can see MLG going to be going straight into them. MLGB, Dragon, Ruckus going to be the first man. Let's try and pan down and have a little bit closer look. Messiah on the back. I mean, they are taking shots. We can see they're taking shots, and they've actually knocked Biggie. Biggie out the back. Tunican. Oh, he's got knocked it just as he went over the brow of the hill by Dragoon.
It's going to be 2 early downs coming up. Potentially the Roos, and we could see Reno come back over here. Get the res onto them. But it's going to be pretty risky. We can see that Tunican has positioned himself into a fairly safe spot, but they think it's too hot. They're like, no, Tunican, you're on your own. Just sit over there and bleed out. And sometimes you just have to make those executive calls. It's just too risky. You got to get those points. Nobody wants to go out this early. So with this, we finally do have another 2 casualties. You see the circle posted up, and looks like it's still kind of favoring towards the center.
Yeah, Bawaka for WTF has just took down Soldier Alex. That was amazing, like Raisins taking down the two members of MLGB, so they're getting themselves 2 kills in there as well. We're looking at the Corn Shuckers, Envy. Where are they going? They've got the 2 vehicles. The circle has moved in. We didn't actually just get a glimpse of where it's collapsed into. We can see they're on the edge of the blue, so they're going to be making their move. There's WTF, and they are continuing to get the kills. Robbie Wiz, he's got one. He's knocked out Noridron. Noriandron. I committed. I had to finish.
You just got to commit to it sometimes.
JB's gone down as well. That's Rob Wiz's teammate. JB goes down. He's finished off. So they are collecting themselves a full squad wipe. Revachamp gets Vin Jesus. That's another of his team as well. So that is a full squad wipe, I believe. Our first full squad wipe in there.
Strong showing coming out there, and from a name that I actually have not seen before, which is a woman respecter. So I guess that's I guess chat's gonna have a field day with that one. So got the circle posted up. You can see that everybody's kind of leaning into the center. Nobody's really going over towards prison. That's not surprising. If you actually commit to going inside a prison, you have that outer wall that's going around the outside of it, so people can kind of post up, shoot down into it. So that's why you see a lot of professional teams really avoid that location. They might go over there, get some loot, but they will try to get out as fast as possible.
So Nova, you can see they have that really nice area. It's the raised platform. It's good and it's bad. You've got the obviously downside that people could get up against the walls, and they're going to have the low ground. As we pan straight in, we can see WTF on the left-hand side. We're trying to get a glimpse of who we're seeing here. Is that... That's not Ghost, no. It's who's
J5
that in the distance? Yeah, well, J5 I can see it. It's the distant team I was trying to look at. Trying to catch the names. I'm not as quick at the names as you are for the North American scene.
That's not really fair. I've spent a couple of 100 hours casting for it, but I believe that was at last because I think that I saw Vox Populi that was back over there. Vox Populi. I always say that one wrong. And
there we go. We can get a better view of it.
So we can see that there is a little bit of aggression.
Okay, so the Corn Sugars.
Under a little bit of fire. Minty Fresh, we saw them. They were performing really well inside of group stage number 2 and what is it? I guess the first, round 2, group 1. There we go.
Yeah, that's where they got the kills, wasn't it? That's where they got the kills that really got them in the position and made it a little secure for them. Minty Fresh obviously was from group 1 as well, so they won the first round there. It really is peculiar not having any game sound whatsoever. I got to be honest, it seems strange hearing and seeing all these shots. It just doesn't quite get you into it. Doesn't get your juices flowing as much. So hopefully that will get sorted out as soon as possible.
So it's all going to come down to the next set of positioning. We've got 5 seconds. Circles coming in. Most of the squads are already kind of focused up. They're in the positions that they want to be in. Now, you can see that Zampa and the rest of his team are kind of pinned over here on this hill. Looks like they were wanting to go down for these red buildings just to what would be their south. So Zampa's taking a little bit of fire now. Already gotten knocked down about 2/3 of his life, trying to run back towards the tree line. I think he might make it back over to safety.
Yeah, Minty Fresh continuing, but not going to get the kills in the end. So Elusive will get away along with Xanta there. Still taking shots. Elijah, yeah, you're not really going to see a great deal through those trees, is he? So Corn Shuckers are safe for now. They did just move into that area as well. Remember, their Corn Shuckers were out on the distance. So I don't think they have themselves a complex. It's more a case of just sitting on that hill, looking across at where they are. Yeah, there's just a hillside. Look, there's just a hill ledge. It's not the greatest area for them right now. Look at Nova. Okay, they're north of WTF. I'm looking for Ghost right now. Where are Ghosts sitting? I keep going glances at the map and don't get to find them.
Last time I think we saw them, they were in the southwestern corner of the map. Trying to look and see. Have that popping back up now. And I don't see them just off the top of my head. Are they positioned up around Yasnaya? I don't believe so.
I'm trying to look at the bundles, like which name's going to be popping to the top. Zampa, Rium's down there. Rium is in Gale Force. So Gale Force are in the bottom corner there, the southeast. Undercover, yeah. Caleb, Zex there as well. So they're about to conflict with each other, which is why we just had it circled. Caleb's there. And Zex. So that's Gale Force Esports moving in, who I believe topped Group 3. Was it 2 or 3?
I believe it was 2. They consist of Wolf, BinQ5, Rium, and Undercover Pie. See that they're doing a slow push up the side of what would be... there's a lot of different names for this area. A lot of people call it Lumberyard. A lot of people just tend to avoid it entirely. Some interesting skirmishes can happen in this area, though, because you can see that right now Zek is playing in a really interesting rock formation, and naturally there's all the logs, the different stumps that you can play around. So a lot of odd pathing choices, but can lead to some really interesting fights.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can get caught on there, isn't there, as well? And you definitely don't want to take a vehicle in and around anywhere near it. In fact, Giraffe is going to get knocked on Wolf, though, so Wolf getting caught out, and it's a really tricky situation because they're basically in the alcove, in the lumberyard, whereas these guys have the high ground, the rocks, so they have the better cover. Riem, of course, picked up that Groza. That was down in Milta. That's where they went. They managed to get the drop straight in front of them. Messiah and Dragoon here as well. They're taking shots on, I didn't see who it was that went blasting past. Fights the man that's been hit in the backside. Nova's moving. We must have a circle move. We haven't seen the circle, but I'm seeing a lot of rotations.
Oh, there's Ghost Gaming. Look at what's happening over on the left side of that circle. It was just explosive over there. You can see Profi has gotten taken down. That is a big name to go down this early inside.
Oh, it's Cornchuckers. Cornchuckers have gone in on them. So it's Cornchuckers that are fighting them, and Cornchuckers just wrecked them.
So a lot of loot coming in from there. You can see that a couple of little fights are still happening. We still have the lumberyard fight, and everybody is pushing in towards the lumberyard. And look at this, Cornchucker is just shooting at every single squad that is driving by them right now. There's just a ton of death happening on that western side of the wall.
I mean, this is perfect for them, right? You get all the kills, 10 points a kill. 10 points a kill, just keep opening up. And if you're in the good position, which is what they wanted, everybody got to pass them by. It does mean they're going to be on the outer rim of the circle as they move in, but the lumberyard is going to get very busy. Minty Fresh has Lush just above him. Lush, of course, we saw get that 3v1 at the end there. 17's just been hit by a vehicle from Fate, so he must have just been run down. Bulwaka does finish off Zastra as well, so that is WTF engaged in a fight. Wolf has just been killed off by Giraffe, so that is Gale Force losing a member as well. The kill feed is full of fat-fingered names.
There is a lot of stuff going on. Baja Waka and the rest of White Temp Fate look like they're still making their push and their approach in. A lot of damage coming out from them. There we go.
I gone blank.
They
need to restart. Okay. Apparently they need to restart. There we go. Boom. Yay!
And we're popping in on Mini Fridge Jr. right now. He's taking a couple of shots. You can see that really forcing the squad to really lean down, hide back behind there. They were on the outskirts of the prison/crater area, taking shots across the distance. Now you can see a lot of these squads still avoiding the crater proper, but are starting to lean into the rocks and the different clefts that you can play on the outside of it. A lot of little neat nooks and crannies that you can play in those regions, so that's why you can see a lot of teams opting into those spots.
Well, Hipok with WTF, they're just down the hill there. You can see 17, I think he's not really going to get revived. Lily's right next to him. Shots continuing to go through there. There goes 17. He's just been killed off. Lilium finishing him off. So the rest of his team, Hip-Hop gets revenge. Lilium goes down. MLG B making the move. Remember, they lost a couple of the members earlier on. The Cornchuckers, they're continuing to throw out the bullets. They're continuing, even despite the fact they didn't have this house. And this is one of the advantages, right? Obviously, a lot of people playing it safe effectively in the pro games, and you get in the houses and effectively sit out and see what you can see out your windows. But the Cornchuckers, they didn't have a house to get in, so they were just on a ridge, which meant they had this open ground to shoot at everyone.
And you see a lot of teams starting to opt into this strategy. Find a really interesting place on the land to play where you have some divots, you have some cover, and just shoot anything that comes around you. Net a whole bunch of those early kills, because while it still gets points, also it does give you the loot to help propel you into the late game. You can see a little bit of fight that's happening. Over here, another squad running right up into Cornchuckers. They are absolutely dominating around that location. Nobody can pass by them without just getting destroyed.
That's another squad down. I mean, that's another 4 kills. They must be racking up the kill count by now. Even if they don't get a top 10 finish, that kill count is going to put them way up there, because once you're outside, say, the top 5 in terms of point finishes, it don't really matter. It's down to kills then. If you got a high kill count, it will put you in a good position. Remember, 5 rounds. Oh my god, it's a mass graveyard.
And look at all of these vehicles that are showing up. They have, what, 5 vehicles that we're looking at right now. Just with this, they can't even drive away all these vehicles. They have, like, the ultimate vehicle fort right now.
They must be so looted. I mean, they can't carry any more first aid, surely. Let's have a look. These guys pushing the blue, moving them in, and they are heading in. Cornchuckers just to the left-hand side of them there. Illegit and Vampires. They're coming to go over the ridge. In the farm was Rob Wiz's team. I know they were just off to the right-hand side as well. Is Elevate or Zampa going to take a peek over here, maybe? Because there's not a lot of cover. I think the ridge line's helping them out, yeah.
Well, this is the big kind of weakness to whenever you're playing inside these divots. You're always listening for vehicles, so whenever somebody comes in on foot, they can actually do a lot of damage. These guys are getting really close to each other. They're about 150 meters away. You can see it looks like Illegit is going back down towards the buildings that maybe Cornshuckers were looking towards.
Well, they're going to keep moving through. Looking across the hillside, it's getting pretty congested right now. MLGB have got a squad right behind them on the hillside. I don't think they realize it, but look, that's why the circles moves. Nova trying to make the move, but they're getting shot by Minifridge Jr. Let's have a look who's got the prime position here. Caleb and Zek, they're the guys that are in prime position just around this lumberyard. WTF also in there. MLGB coming in from the west side. There's a couple of squads driving in from the north. Nova getting down by Kraken.
And there is a vehicle that is coming up back behind Nova right now, so they're going to have to look back behind them. You can see that many people are pushing up along that outer prison wall. We were talking about it beforehand. Now we're going to have a Nova getting caught into a fight, actually having to jump down, take some damage just for the reposition.
Yeah, Swisher just dropping down. Popping that energy drink. They've still got 4 members alive, Nova, so they're in a good position. They were very consistent throughout the Group 1 qualifiers, which had a solid amount of decent teams in it. They finished top at the end of the day as well, I believe. Getting the 2 wins. I think they won 2 rounds. No, tell a lie. They got just the 1 round. It was the second round, wasn't it?
I believe
we have
so.
moves. Oh, here we go. Here we go. They've got all the vehicles. They can only bring 4 with them. It is going to be Cornchuckers making their way through. Paradox getting pinged up. Envy moving in. Zappa. And they're going to get themselves. Okay, let's set up themselves a bit of a convoy point. There's the little V set up by the tree. And they're in a good situation. Elusive just behind the rocks, going to keep himself safe.
Now we're coming up on the squad that is pushing over towards Nova. So you can see way up in the front of this, we got Corbo that's looking for some type of angle on this. He seems to know exactly where they are. A couple of shots coming out now towards Nova. They're getting flanked upon from 2 different points, but Corbo actually goes down first, and Harley has taken a lot of damage.
Harley GG in trouble. His teammate's down. Just trying to keep himself alive at the moment. Jay all day. Lucknalb's going to try and push his position with the shotgun. And that is only ever going to finish one way. Lucknalb gets down, though, from range. I think it's Minifridge Jr. They manages to knock him down and finish off the kill. So Nova getting wrecked there. We're going to get Nerf Me Please back up. Jay all day trying to lay down the cover fire. We just saw about 5 or 6 people all go down outside the play zone as well.
See that Vox Populi does manage to make it inside the circle just barely. All this firefight that was happening off the other side pulled attention away from him, but you can see Jay all day does know where he is at. He's looking for how he's going to move forward. New circle is up, and it's pretty close to this position, but it just has to go a little bit further south. And wow, look at what is happening right now. Ronin in a huge firefight off to the side. Hypox also caught up into a firefight. There's a lot of stuff going along that that western circle.
And that new circle has just worked out so well for Cornchuckers. They just moved into that position and got themselves with the vehicle camp, and the new circle has landed on them. Everybody that migrated down towards the lumberyard is going to have to come all the way back up again on the hill.
And Cornchuckers just playing from a very dominant position again. I say that right as soon as we see one of them get knocked down, so we have to see how that's developing over there. Still coming back over here with Nova. You can see trying to play off the side. Hetz is doing a push-up. Now we're coming over here with Minifridge Jr. A lot of shots coming out. These squads are just trying to put their foot inside what could be the safe zone and can't find any safe path to get there.
Yeah, they're trying to get there. While this is all happening, Cornchuckers are in a massive fight again. They're continuing back and forth the shots. I think they've come out on top. Elusive did get down by a grenade, but he downed the guy that shot the grenade, so he's going to get back up. It looks like the 2 team members are the ones that are over here that they were fighting. You can see them just on the west side. Hip-Hop, WTF, they are bang central right now as well in this area, so they're in a very good position. A White Temper Fate. Rob Wiz, he's going to get collapsed upon. It's Dragoon. You can see them all coming behind, so they're going to get cut down. Here is Kraken. They have themselves a really nice US camp there.
See that off in the distance with Butcher Bill. They're trying to push up into this point. We're seeing a lot of really solid fortifications coming in. I really like to see how they're using the vehicles. They're specifically incorporating parts of the environment inside of it to make sure that they still have clean fire lines.
So Ronin Esports on your screen here have themselves a pretty good setup. We're not really seeing a lot of the action though. We're hearing a lot of shots. There's a hell of a lot of bodies going on there. That is Rayon. That's not Gale Force. It is Ghost, I believe. No.
We're seeing is everybody is pushing up the southern side of this over towards the lumberyard area, and there's just a lot of really odd points that you can push through. Remember, we had all of those rocks over there. We have all those little pieces of wood that you can move around inside. So now we're seeing, coming over here now, over next to corn shuckers, they are just still laying down death on anybody that encroaches into their area. They've just been very, very solid in their performance so far.
I would love to see how many kills they've got by now. They must be close to 15 at least, I would say. They have a very high kill count. Grenade going their way from Hites. Not really going to land on anything. Reaver continuing to keep Rob Weeze's team alive. I wouldn't even want to try and suggest trying to pronounce their team name. It's ridiculous. But WTF I saw in there. They've still kept themselves very much in the fight. They're actually very, very close to the Corn Chuckers, but haven't really engaged each other yet.
It's just absolute chaos on the southeastern section of the
Nova finished off.
Look, everybody's just trying to run away and get out of these fights. Circle is still on the other side, so everybody's going to have to push out and make it over there. But there's like 3 or 4 squads all tangling with each other. 30 seconds. They have to get out of this fight, otherwise the blue is just going to come in and do all the work for them.
So Nova just got finished off. Hip-Hop managing to get himself another. That is WTF continuing to land the kills. There's Elusive getting another for the Corn Chuckers. They are having a mega round right now. Sonatic manages to down Ruckus. Minty Fresh pushing in. We saw him go big against the Envious guys before. Sonatic, in the end, the man that collects the kills. But that was a great little collapse on that yellow building.
Draft getting pushed down now. You can see that Caleb is trying to find a peak corner and does get the down onto it. This rock formation is very awkward to play around. Everybody's trying to retreat back, trying to get the health up, but he's just pushing in.
Oh, he just turned around!
To get everyone.
Oh, that's timing right there. Sonatic just pushes up. The second he turned around and just did stop peeking, I don't understand why he was thinking there. But either way, that is Sonatic picking up another triple kill. So he's just got 6 kills back to back.
Okay, we come back over here. We can see where we're Corn Shuckers. Vehicles galore that have been exploded around them. Got a squad that's pushing back over towards Ronin now. A lot of people actually down on Ronin. They still do have the time necessary if they wanted to try to get these reses back up and active. I've got to say, we're seeing some really solid shots come out from these NA finals so far. Really excited to see how this round's going to fall out. We're at 15 people alive. Circle on the opposite side. Everybody's been having to go back and forth across from these 2 different sides of the circle.
Oaxaca and Ashek and Hipok still alive. Lush still in there. Obviously saw his last big finish, but he's getting tagged up heavily. Shots continuing to rain on the Corn Chuckers. Judging by how quick they're bleeding, I think quite a few of them have been knocked a number of times. So they are going to get healed up, though. Ashek, that's going to be Lush going down, so Ashek finds him. So White Temple Fate still looking in a very good position if we look at this final area. They have the Wizard Tower set up. I think there's 2 in that boat. They're 2 different separate squads. Yeah, Fred and Johnson. They're one on the 2 floors.
And that is a very awkward situation. I know it's been my favorite word of the night, but we've been casting for, I don't know, 12 hours at this point.
Yeah,
so
something like that.
Repeated words. So everybody's starting to push forward. You can see that H-Tex is trying to find something off of this. It's right on the edge of it. Paradox just is going to have nothing to do with it.
Contract has just lost 2 members. That's Elusive going down. We did see a knock as well coming out. WTF managed to knock one of them. So Paradox and Zamp are the last 2. They tried to push around, and this actually left it in a really tricky situation for these guys. And it's raise the flag, is it? Is it raise the flag? What's the hoist the colours? Hoist the colours that are doing very well here. I think they're into the top 3. What have we got left? No, probably about 5 squads left because there's that really awkward moment. Look at WTF. They're right on top of them. WTF's going to find them. Envy goes down. Midnightson goes down. Paradox goes down. That is the Corn Chuckers out of there. It's Zampa in the end that gets the kill. On Paradox, that's his own teammate.
You've got to deny those kill points. Got to get rid of them. Not let anybody else get them, you know? There's a little bit of strategy going on with this.
Oh, Hacker's just been down. WTF have just lost one man. It's Fred, I think, in the top there that just managed to kill him off, but he's inside the blue. He's got to move. He's got to move. He's going to try and ride it out with a medkit. And look, you can see Hitbox just like, I'm just going to sit and watch you. You need to move out.
He actually managed to get the down onto it. Ashek does get the
oh my god! Oh, he does get... Yeah, Ashek gets him in the end. But look at this now. So hoist the colours. Hoist the colours are coming in with 4 men alive. We just saw Zampa go down outside the play zone. It is a 4v1. Ashek is in all kinds of trouble. He has this little buggy. That's not really going to offer him a great deal of cover, is it? Here they come. They're just going to pile straight in there.
Ronin just wants no part of this. Hard charge again. Nice shots coming out from Ashek. Almost getting 2 downs inside that. But let's look at this kill feed. This is where I'm really interested. So, popping back over here, we can see that it looks like Corn Shuckers actually only managed to secure 13 kills.
That's still good. Yeah, just
big
13,
deal.
but 4th place with 13 kills. I actually think that may put them in 1st place. Let's have a look. 8 kills for WTF, not bad.
But off on the side, and number 8, look at this. Santic actually gets 7 kills himself, so solid performance is coming out of there.
Yeah, that's those 2 squads. You remember they stormed the house, Minty Fresh and Co. They stormed in there and got the kills there. I'll tell a lie, it wasn't Hoist the Colours that got it. He was for Hoist the Colours. It wasn't Hoist the Colours that won it, by the way, sorry. It was
Ronin.
Ronin Esports. Not Ronin Esports, they're Ronin. Yeah, Ronin Esports. Okay, it's simple. He stormed and got the 3 kills in the house, and then they went into that rock formation, remember? And then he came around as they were literally all healing themselves up and just got himself a simple triple kill. So 7 kills. It wasn't a quick burst, but it was impressive storming the house and getting 3 kills.
I mean, you just got to have some level of awareness. He knows that he hit some damage onto it. People retreated back around the rock, so he opted into pushing for it. Sure, the circle was on his tail, but he did manage to get a lot of kills out of it. I have to say, that was a really great game 1. Really excited about the next 4 rounds in this. NA is really coming to compete today and put on a show.
And you know what it is? Because we didn't have a water finish. We were on a proper nice hillside. That was like the perfect finish. I love the finishes around here, this Milta, North Milta area. It really gives you a decent, entertaining finish. So, round 2 coming up, guys. Don't go anywhere. This is the best of 5. And, of course, don't forget the top 4 over all these 5 rounds will make it to Oakland.